You know what? It's something we talk about a lot, and it's kind of goes to the Turtles itself. So Turtles is about family, and we've been doing this together now. What, 2-3 years? I don't know, maybe more. And we've become like a family that just happens to have a job that we do together. We start the work. We come together naturally. We know everybody's strengths, everybody's weaknesses, and then we just find a way to kind of exploit those things. But at the same time, we'll have a lot of fun with what we're doing. Everybody's input counts. We have Kevin Eastman obviously leading the way, so he's kind of like our daddy on this thing, and we just kind of follow his lead, and it continues to be like a joy. Me personally, it's a joy. I've never had this kind of a where it's almost instinctive what we need to do and who needs to do it, as part of the process, because there are a lot of parts to Last Ronin, the Ronin-verse in general, and within each story, multiple artists. We have multiple writers, and we have to be able to kind of come together in that regard. And we find a way to do it. It's just a great team, a great family, and I couldn't ask for better. And it continues to be fantastic.
Yeah, I feel like when Kevin and Tom are cooking it up and we're all waiting for our pages and the scripts so that we can get started, they're fully confident that as soon as we get them, we just go, and the Escorza Brothers know what they're doing and I know what I'm doing, and we're not necessarily even talking to each other about how their pages lead into ours, and they don't even worry about it even because everybody is just at the absolute top of their game right now and trying to do better than what Kevin and Tom might have already had in mind, and trying to do better than what Kevin is imagining is a hard task, but we all just keep doing our best and people are liking it.
I'll be translating. The relationship has been quite fortunate for everyone. Kevin is an excellent boss. It's so easy to work with him, especially the first numbers that we work with him, because he used to do the layouts, so it was easier for them to follow the layouts and just work on that at the beginning. He has always been really kind with us. He has supported us on anything we need, everything we need. Let's say that's something that the whole team actually sees. He's supportive, he's always there for us, he's always helping us. After a few years now we actually know the families of the others. We know Ben's daughter, we know Tom's wife, so we actually work with everyone. It's more than just a work now, it's a trust between everyone as a part of family, as Tom mentioned. It's quite curious. It's quite that we work the whole first year and we never see each other's faces. We just read the names in the mails, maybe a picture here and there, but that's all we see from each other. The day we met each other in Florida, everyone was hugging each other. Kevin was really excited. He was hugging everyone. They were scared because he was hugging everyone because he was so happy to finally meet them in face to face that they was oh, Kevin Eastman is actually hugging me. He's actually excited to meet me. So you can imagine how we felt the first time we met each other. From there and now on, we have been working together. We feel like we're part of a family. Today, Isaac has a newborn, 4 months. I have a 5 months old. Ben also has a little baby, right? So we feel like we have been growing as a family together because they are the aunts and cousins of everyone. The only thing we're missing is actually meeting the wives and babies, but I think that will happen. We met Tom's daughter, so this has made the tags together. We saw Kevin's baby, 16-year-old's baby, and we have seen pictures of each other's family yesterday before we started the interview. So it's more than a work; it's actually something that we feel fortunate and thankful about it.
One thing to follow up on, I think that's important to mention here, is one of the things I like about this. I call this the North American project. It's awesome. So we've got, I'm in California with Kevin. Ben's in Maine. We've got Isaac and Esau and Luis down in Mexico, and we all just find a way to come together. But I always say the Ronin-verse was born in North America, truly in North America, not just So
that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question, and that is something that we spend a lot of time, still continue to spend time, considering and carefully kind of plotting out. But the main thing that we wanted to do is we wanted this new generation of Turtles, and we wanted this to be in the spirit of the original Turtles. But the last thing we wanted to do was just have carbon copies of those 4 original Turtles. Why have new Turtles if they were the same thing? So what we decided was the first thing we keyed in on was personalities, and so obviously that's a big deal with original Turtles. You got your angry one, you got the party guy, and then the leader and the smart guy. And we wanted some of those elements just because if it's not broken, why fix it? But we also felt like they were created in 1984. Here it is 2023, and there's new modern sensibilities, there's new modern issues that teenagers deal with. And so the first thing we started approaching is, what are those things? And as they mentioned, we all have kids, and a lot of us have teenagers. My daughter's 20, and they deal with things that we didn't deal with back in the 80s. I'm an 80s kid, and things like depression, some of the social anxieties that have come about, whether it's because of social media or just the world in general, autism, being on the spectrum. And we wanted to bring those elements into these characters and allow them to be not what I would call issues, but actually their powers. These are things that these kids have to deal with, but they overcome things that would normally, probably for a kid from the 80s, probably would have crippled me, because I wouldn't have been mentally prepared. These kids now are much stronger. I don't care what anybody says. Kids today are stronger than we were because we didn't have all these things that they're dealing with, all this input. So we wanted to include that in the story so they felt like modern teenagers, yet still be heroic mutant turtles that are kind of trying their best. And one of the things we will present, I think in issue 1 is the idea that they want to live up to the legends that they're basically derived from. But at the same time, okay,
it's just that it's not carbon copies of the originals, but those personality traits are like within all of us anyway. Like that, the originals are almost like if you only had that one trait, but you'll see these in these guys. And then the legacy thing that Tom's talking about, the fact that they all use all 4 weapons, I think has been why it's been so well received, is because everyone is so respectful of the original Turtles. When we killed them off in Last Ronin, it was like the most honorable ways, like it's always with respect. And these new Turtles are like trying to live up to that, but never replacing it. Right. And I think that's a big deal for fans because they hate the reboots, Yeah.
And we kind of get our cake and eat it too. And that was one of the things we did in Last Ronin is the four original Turtles are always there, whether it's their memory or in flashbacks. We still get the Turtles that everybody fell in love with at first, but we get to kind of fall in love with them in a new way through these new Turtles' eyes. And it's really exciting. As far as designs, I'll let the artist talk about that. But my favorite job as a writer is you throw things out there and then let the artist take over in this. So I'm just as excited as the fans when designs come back that we get to look at and choose from. So I'll let them talk about how they come up with those designs.
They have been quite privileged to be part of these new Turtles. They even got a few covers to actually draw, so it's quite a large responsibility to do something like that. They feel the pressure of doing that, but they feel easy because now they know how to deal with these characters that Tom was mentioning. And all the designs based on Ben's design actually was something easier for us to approach. So they just gave us the actual pass for touchdown. We got just the ball and we just put it there. So that's Ben's design. So following that idea, Ben's line, they have tried their best to actually follow that, add some new stuff, and get these characters to be as good as the first that we had. So this transition that we have to follow has been something like Tom and Ben are mentioning. These are not the same Turtles that we had, but these are the Turtles in spirit, but completely new and completely rebranded for them. So it's like a complementary stuff. Like we have the old stuff, the new stuff, to have a complete new brand stuff, and quite a fortune makes in there. They were assuming the pressure that they will have and the difficulty that will be to have something new, because people might not accept them the first time they saw it. So they were like, okay, are they actually gonna like something that they have never seen before, that is not like they've had? So the challenge that Tom and Kevin had trying to add, not to replace, not to remove what they had on their heart and their memories, doing something good, it's something quite difficult for them. But they feel like the whole work they've been doing together is actually working up, it's actually building up. They're not trying to put behind the past, they're actually building over the past and using these new turtles as new stuff, but actually keeping the values of family, the values of the turtles. When you see the first story, without spoilers, you'll see all the things that are quite similar, but not the same at all. They follow the same line, they are loving the things they're doing with the new turtles. And as my brother said, we're actually inheriting Ben's work, Ben's designs. We love his designs. He says that he loves Uno. It's the best one for him. So every time I have to draw him, I go for him and I remove my brother like, this is mine, Uno is mine, and I'll get this one. So I think each of us will get a favorite turtle on the way, but right now it's a work of everyone together. Has been quite easy, as I said, thanks to Ben, thanks to Tom, thanks to Kevin. So we're doing a good job there.
We appreciate you guys taking the time. Yeah.
February.
Yep. We're the issue 1 is moved out to February. We'll be talking about that at our panel, but for good reasons. This time, not so much a delay, but as something that we feel will benefit the book and the fans in a way that I think will just create an even broader outreach for the book. And I really I just kind of follow up on the 4 new turtles. We wouldn't have done this if we didn't think it was worth it, and we didn't think people would accept it. If we didn't accept it, we would have stopped. We could have stopped with Ronin, but we kind of fell in love with this world. And as we develop these new 4 turtles, we're all finding that we're falling in love with them too. And we feel like that's going to be something that's contagious to the fans and new readers and old readers alike, because this does feel like a turtle story. There's no doubt about it. And I feel like we picked up where we left off. And moving forward, I'm looking forward to a whole new generation of fans. And we're happy to be on this ride with you.
Every ending is a new beginning, and so fans who are like, what's left to tell? He's already dead, everybody's dead. It's like, no, what happens next? It's new beginning.